My Week 2 NFL picks for the 2019 season, beginning with Thursday Night Football between the Buccaneers and the Panthers. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers to win that game. Bruce Arians going to lose his 37th game as a head coach, including in the postseason, to Carolina, because it's Carolina that equals 37. On Ron Rivera's side, it is Ron Rivera that is going to enter the Cardinals game the following week with 75 wins. We have the former coach Steve Wilks being a former Panthers defensive coordinator. That may be a clue as to why the Cardinals game ended in a tie instead of Cliff Kingsbury picking up his first win as the Cardinals coach against the Detroit Lions, just like Bruce Arians did back in 2013. So we're finding out the riddle with the Arizona Cardinals. And by the way, let's just get this out of the way. The Cardinals are going to lose to the Ravens. I think Terrell Suggs will get a sack in his return, but Cardinals may lose by 10 points. Hopefully they don't get their ass kicked, but they're going to lose at Baltimore. That is the lock of the week. So Carolina is going to win. And then moving on to the Chargers and the Lions, I am going to go with the Detroit Lions to win that game. I believe that Detroit usually starts the season off well at home, and I really didn't find much numbers for that game, but if I compute Stafford's too much or whatnot, then I might get something with Phillip Rivers' win-loss record. But San Diego, a narrow margin, the defense, just Detroit can win that game and sort of keep things going until eventually the Lions flame out of the playoff picture. So I think home teams do well. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions to win at home. It is 9:15, September the 15th. That adds up to 24, and it is Lions that has a gematria of 24. So that's why on that particular day I have to go with the Detroit Lions. A tough game to call. The Colts and the Titans. The Titans seem like a lock. They're at home or whatnot, but the Colts are a really tough team. You can't forget about these brothers last week. I got to go with Indianapolis to win an upset, but of course Tennessee is going to beat the Colts later on in the season. I'll give Marcus Mariota that. For Marcus Mariota right now, you see that he's at 28-28, I think it is, or yeah, he's at, let's see, I'm at Matthew Stafford here. Where's Marcus Mariota? Marcus Mariota, I think he's going to lose his 29th game. He could win his 30th game against the Colts, but it's probably going to happen against someone else. He can lose his 29th game against the team that used to have Andrew Luck, and he would lose his 7th game in September under this scenario, and it would also be, he would remain at, what is it? His AFC South record is 9-9 as it is right now, but you see a lot of 7 with this. His 29th win against a team that used to have Andrew Luck, 29, Andrew equals 29, and then his 7th loss in September. Well, this would happen against Andrew Luck's team. That may have been the original script. This is why I have to go with Indianapolis to win that game. Drew Brees' revenge against the New Orleans Saints. He's going to win on the road. It is going to be his 103rd win against the NFC. It is LA, the 12th and the first letter that add up 13. 103, ignoring the 0, is a 13. For quarterback Drew Brees, it would be his 157th win overall. 33's gematria equals 157. Now, NFC West. It'll be his 19th win in his career against the NFC West. It's worth noting that LA Rams has gematria of 19. How about the regular season record against the Rams here? 4-5. I like 5-5 right as we enter the year of Super Bowl 55. His record against the LA Rams is 4-5. That's a gematria of New Orleans and New England. His record against the LA Rams is an interesting thing itself. You have to go with the Saints in this one. Super Bowl jitters or whatnot. Hype up that Rams-Browns game. The Rams is Gematria of 30. Was there a 29 here with Drew Brees here in his record somewhere? There might have been. There might have been. It might have something to do with his NFC record there. Not exactly, but that is 103. That's one of the main tributes out there. His record on the road. Let's see, Sunday record 135. So that is a difference of, you guessed it, 45. The gematria of New Orleans win-loss difference has to be 45. Jaguars and the Texans. Bill O'Brien should win game number 43 in the regular season to remain at 39 losses in the regular season over at Houston. Strong showing last week. Jacksonville has gematria of 43. It is Houston, Texas that has gematria of 39. You are fucked, Bill O'Brien, if you lose that game. So you better win. I'm going to go with you. And who knows it, the Jacksonville Jaguars go out here and, really recover. It's hard to tell if they're a scripted. And Nick Foles come back there. I can tell you, if there is a game that I was going to change, it's going to be that one. So look out for the comments before kickoff if I change my pick to the Jaguars. But not looking really good right now for Houston and Jacksonville early on in the season. Seahawks, Steelers all the way. It is the Seahawks that equals 120 and 39. It would be his 120th win on Sunday for Ben Roethlisberger. Now, he was at 38 somewhere. I have to go down to his stats. Aha! 38 wins against the NFC. Win number 39 against the Seattle Seahawks, a really mediocre team nowadays. I wonder how many experts picked him to make it to the Super Bowl. Can the Bills sweep the Meadowlands series early on in the season at the Jets and then the Giants? Well, not against the best team in New York, the New York Giants. Eli Manning is going to get the win against the Buffalo Bills. He has 117 wins right now. I don't see him losing his 117th game, but this happens sometimes in gematria where you enter the game with the wins against a certain team. Buffalo Bills equals 117. Eli Manning's got to pick up a home win as a starter this year, so I can see this happen against Buffalo. I can see it happening against Buffalo, and then got to move on to Sunday. That's 98 wins, and then that is 30 wins against the AFC. Let's just type in Bills. Or even Buffalo itself. Or even where the Bills are from. Buffalo, New York. But I like the Giants that game. Look out for Saquon Barkley. They suck, don't they? Okay, so Chiefs going to win at the Raiders. I could probably see the Raiders winning later on in the season to get into a playoff contention there. Let's look at this one at the end. Patriots win. We got the Saints. Got the Falcons on Sunday Night Football. The game is at Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia has gematria of 23. That game is featuring the last NFC team to win the Super Bowl there. Over on Sundays, I think it is, for Carson Wentz. Or it's probably Doug Peterson that I'm thinking about right here. He could win game number 19 against the NFC, or he could win. He could lose game 14. I'm gonna go with 14 because it's N that equals 23. The Eagles Super Bowl window is gonna come to an end here. It's Atlanta, Georgia that equals 23. He could win game number 25 against the Falcons. Falcons equals 25, but sometimes that doesn't happen that way. And for Carson Wentz, he could enter the Detroit Lions game with 24 wins. I think that overseeds the Falcons equaling 25, that he would have to enter the Detroit game against the Lions with 24 wins. And that's what I'm seeing happen here with Julio Jones and Matt Ryan showing up. Browns are going to win. It is quarterback Baker Big Dick Mayfield out there. He's going to have a 7-8 record. It's Cleveland that has Dematria of 78-33. The Browns are going to come back on Monday Night Football. They're going to get the win. The Jets will jet around. Believe me, the Jets are going to come crashing down. And now, Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio and the Broncos are going to beat the Bears. Vic Fangio is the former Bears defensive coordinator. He's now coaching the Broncos. His first win as a head coach is going to occur against the Chicago Bears. The Bears are going to come back and win the division, but they start off the season slow. Broncos equals 86. It's Vic Fangio that is coaching the Broncos. Vic Fangio can defeat Coach Matt Nagy for his first win as a coach. I like Vic Fangio in the Denver Broncos to knock off the Chicago Bears at home in the high altitude. Can't underestimate that there. So these are all of my picks. I'll let you know if I decide to change my Texans pick. Probably not. Vikings and the Packers. Aaron equals 49. Mike Zimmer, they beat the Packers, in case if I missed that, or if you were unsure about what was going to happen there. But these are going to be all of my picks here. All of my picks here for this week. Let's look at John Gruden and whatnot. Let's see what Derek Carr or whatnot. Who knows? Maybe the Raiders win that game. But let's take a look. Let's take a look, because I expect the Raiders to make the playoffs. Quarterback record 33-46. 33 wins before facing off against Patrick Mahomes. He may have to remain at. They didn't update this. Okay, so he probably came in during one game here, and okay, see that? His 33rd loss. I think for number 4, Derek Carr and John Gruden, the Rabbit, their first win against the Chiefs is going to occur in their 4th game. The Raiders are going to do it Raiders style over at Arrowhead. Loss number 33 for Derek Carr in the AFC did not happen on Monday Night Football. They set this up geometrically when they do the schedule, but it is going to happen against Patrick Mahomes, and the Raiders are going to try to knock off the Chiefs' home field dreams, and because they're going to beat the Patriots, and the Raiders are going to kick their ass later on in the season. I'll tell you that. Chiefs win that game.